5 days ago, my mom and I landed in Panajachel, Guatemala. During that time, we've been exploring the town and taking the afternoons lounging by the pool. It's been the restful vacation we both have been looking forward to. While talking to a local, my mom found out about a tourist activity just outside the town of Pana called Reserva Natural Etitlan. It was a fun activity with suspension bridges, butterfly gardens, lots of wildlife, and a zip line if you chose. We both thought why not and decided to take a day visit.
Do I scream tourist or what? It's so painful.
It's not painful.
Yes, it is.
My mom and I headed out and we caught the first tuk-tuk that came our way. Little did we know that the following day this tuk-tuk would take us on some wild adventures. If you saw my last week's video,
I'm telling you right now, I'd be nervous to bring my van up here. Yeah, but we're doing this in a tuk-tuk.
you'll know the shenanigans we got up to. Anyway, it wasn't a long journey before we were landing at Reserva Natural Etitlan.
It's about, I want to say like a 10-minute tuk-tuk ride outside of like the main hub of Panajachel, and it's highly recommended, and I want to see butterflies. So we're here, we're going to do it, and I'm going to take you with me.
With the camera. But with the camera, huh? Sitting with your camera.
Very rickety. I wouldn't say it's the most trustworthy structure, but you know, we're almost at the other side. It's gonna be fine. It won't be today, right? Yes. Not today. Not today.
A few more rickety bridges later, and we were at the water. We soaked in the views before continuing on. There were many suspension bridges at this reserve, providing an immersive, self-exploring experience in the jungle.
So we're just finishing up here at the reserve, and you know, if you don't do the zip line, really you'll need like an hour and a half. Expected to hike though. There's some serious hills here. We got rather sweaty spring water. There's like, well, how many?
2 hours we've been here already.
Yeah, but we also been filming and stuff too.
Oh, okay.
If you're slow up the hills, yeah, okay, maybe a lot, 2 hours, and a lot, maybe 3.5 if you add the zip line for extra fun, but we're not going to do that today.
Yeah.
I would say the experience is rather touristy, very touristy in fact, but it's something to do in Panajachel. So for the rest of the day, we're just going to go around town checking out the shops, and then eventually we'll find a place to eat, and yeah, we're just going to play it by ear.
We heard that there were spider monkeys, but we didn't think we were going to be able to see any until...
Oh, I just handed it to her. Oh, they're fighting, yeah.
After the big feeding frenzy, we made our way back to the main town, Pana, where we stumbled upon a thrift shop.
This is my first thrift store in Guatemala, and I'm very excited. Can't buy a lot, obviously, but it's fun to have a look.
The woman working at the thrift shop said most of the stuff came in from the US. I didn't expect to find anything, nor did I. It was still fun nonetheless.
This has got to be the best item in the store. Check it out. It's like felt snowballs to have snowball fights here because there's no snow. That's funny. So we stopped on the street and got ourselves some tamales from like just like a local shop on the street. We're technically not allowed food in the room, but we're a little cheeky, and they seriously overcharge in the restaurant, and we want to try local food, so. Nice.
While Panajachel is classified as a touristy spot in all of Guatemala, I still felt that it was very rich in culture and has not become over touristy just yet. It still holds that Latin charm. The people were lovely here, and I was so happy to be able to interact with so many locals. Despite what people say about Guatemala, I felt safe in Panajachel. While it's not recommended to walk at night, during the day I never felt unsafe. But I was always sure to be mindful of my surroundings and to listen to my gut. If you find yourself in Guatemala, Lake Atitlan is a place not to be missed. Now, for our next adventure.
Welcome to Antigua! Pana have ended and we hopped the shuttle and now we're in Antigua. We only got here about 5 minutes ago. We were able to drop our bag off Airbnb. We're literally only here till 7 in the morning tomorrow. So realistically we've got like 6 to 8 hours here in the city to explore. It's noon now. Is it noon? Yeah, it's noon now and we're starving. So we're gonna go find food.
No, I think I'm gonna have breakfast too. I'm gonna have the desayuno chapin. ¿Tú también?
Yeah. Oh. Where's the same, man?
¿Desean azúcar?
No,
No.
está muy bien.
It's okay. So we found a good breakfast spot. I mean, they serve all sorts of like lots of vegetarian and vegan foods here actually, which was really fascinating to read on the menu. But we ended up just going with like a simple breakfast. It's a little bit more than the breakfast places in Pana, but it's expected. We're literally a block away from like the tourist hub here in Antigua, but we're starving. So this is like a classic Guatemalan breakfast that we've had almost every day. You know, they got the beans, the eggs, the plantains, and they'll generally have some sort of like cheese or cream with your tortillas, and we don't eat the cheese or the cream because it does not agree with me. I wish I could though, otherwise it's not a good time for me. And generally it's some fruits and stuff with coffee or juice, which is it's like a full breakfast that they make generally right in the back. Nothing's like frozen or pre-made, and you can tell how fresh it is. And I'm telling you guys, plantains are addicting. Like, I never want to know how to make them because this is all I would ever make all the time.
Las con los niños. So in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 homes, 4 hostels and hotels. Nope, 5. There's another one.
That's great. So first thoughts is it's what, calmer?
Pardon me?
It's calmer? Do you feel? First thoughts.
Oh, my thoughts.
Yeah.
It's old and it's an old town, and it's I think it has a lot of history. There was an earthquake and you can still see, I forget when the earthquake happened, but you can still see a lot of the places that have not been rebuilt. And people are friendly, lots of tourists.
Lots of tourists. Lots of tourists. And lots of hotels, like you said.
Lots of hotels.
Lots of hostels. Like it seems like every block's a hostel. The one big difference I think between Pana and here is like the style of home. It's sort of like San Francisco where all the buildings are connected to each block, but then you go inside and it's a giant, beautiful courtyard almost behind every door. And so it's just like, it feeds the curiosity, like what's behind that door, like what kind of beauty lies back there, you know? So I hope we get to see a few of these courtyards because they're magnificent. So it's about 2 hours later. I ended up getting a bit of a headache. Between the altitude and the air pollution, I got a little bit of a headache, and I had to just take a little bit of a lie down. But with the time left that we do have, we're gonna go to another mirador, which is a lookout that's here in Antigua, and I'm really excited because it's like just sunset and the light is perfect. Look how happy these guys are. You guys are happy guys.
I'll take one of you. I will casar you.
Translated to vendors, can't come up here and sell you things. So that's one thing I'm definitely finding about Antigua more, is that I think there's more bylaws and more rules, unlike Pana. Even our tuk-tuk driver, Alex, was saying with the tuk-tuks, there's actually a lot of more bylaws with what the tuk-tuks can do in terms of like where they can go and how they can decorate the tuk-tuks. At least we're not doing this in the middle of the day like last time. Rookie mistake, man. Don't hike in the middle of the day, my gosh.
About 10 minutes of walking uphill, and it brought us to a lookout with a big open viewing area of Antigua and Volcán de Agua. Apparently, this wasn't always like this.
So my mom was speaking to one of the locals when she was asking about coming up to the Mirador, and they were saying that before, basically last year, it was actually really, really dangerous to come up here. There was like, you know, lots of thieves, and it wasn't exactly safe to come up here as a tourist. Not only that, but it wasn't as built up as it is now. Like, there was no platforms and viewing platforms and stuff before. It was like really slippery, and people were falling down the hill, slipping and falling down the hill. So in the last year, we just built a new platform, so that way it's much more, I guess, viewing friendly. And that's also why they have the security. It makes it for a nice adventure now instead of a scary one, because we all want to see that view. This is absolutely beautiful. So it was, all in all, a really nice little lookout. The one thing that was probably most surprising is that there's security. Now we're gonna walk back down. I'm gonna grab food because I'm about to do a really big physical challenge tomorrow. We've just exited the jungle into the open. It's becoming a bit more alpine-y, which means we're getting closer to the top. But yeah, so food is next.
Not far from our Airbnb was a restaurant. I loved how all the food was displayed and how they cooked all the food right in front of you.
So, we went out for dinner, but we grabbed it to go and brought it back to the Airbnb, and looked really good because it was like freshly made in front of you in all the pots, so it's like, you know, it had to be good. I got chorizo. I'm hoping it doesn't disagree with my stomach, but I really wanted it. And I'm surprisingly hungry after that giant breakfast that we had. But here we are.
How you tell the truth?
Oh, it looks so good. Check it out. And it came with salsa and tortillas. So, that's what I needed. So I realized that yesterday I didn't finish a Airbnb tour. Just got back, got really tired. But we have like 4 minutes, so let's make this quick. Excuse the mess. I would say this Airbnb is a solid 10 out of 10. You know, it's got the kitchen, it's got a little seating area, the bed is super comfortable, the bathroom is really cute, there's hot water, good water pressure. It overlooks this like cute little courtyard. You know, it's a really nice colonial home that they've updated. Real nice. You know, it's colonial, right? So there's not as many windows. The way they've set up the lighting makes it super homey and not as dark as what it could be, because colonial homes can get very dark. But yeah, and also the manager of the place, Samuel, is like super nice. He was extremely helpful and we really appreciate him. But yeah, good little Airbnb. One thing I definitely will notice that's not the Airbnb's fault, but like I think this is just like a Antigua thing, is, you know, like the noise of the streets is like there's lots of noise because of the cobblestone streets, but that's just what you have to come to expect when you come to Antigua. And it starts to wind down around 10. That's when we stopped hearing a lot of trucks going by, and they started around 5:30 in the morning. So just expect that. Also, if you don't like toll bells, do not stay near churches because they're rung late and they're rung early. So just be mindful. I came here to Guatemala for this, really. Oh, it's happening again. Oh my god. Oh, it's so cool. Seriously, this is a childhood dream. This is like a childhood dream right now.
A nose freeze. Has anyone ever gotten a nose freeze? I got a nose freeze right now.
let's just say it's more alcohol than margarita makes. Let me tell you that. It's very strong.
This is for you, Jonah.
Oh my God, Mom. Okay, you're worrying me. You should stop now. Stand over here and be really weird. Free for all, but they didn't go after the monkey's bananas, which was really interesting. But they would go after each other's bananas. So a very interesting hierarchy.
So I'm gonna make this quick. I would say this Airbnb.